Today on Loyola News Chicago, find out how students are preparing for finals, what program is being shut down at Loyola, and why the nation's only student-run pizzeria is closing.
From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Annie Kate Raglow.
And I'm Esther Alicia. We start our newscast with an update on the graduate students' latest fight over their job status. The union walked off their jobs Wednesday to once again call on the school to bargain for a union contract. Michael McDevitt went to the protest to talk with graduate students about what they want to see from the university.
What do we want? A contract! When do we want it? Now!
It was perhaps their biggest protest this semester. The Graduate Student Union staging a day-long walkout of their jobs as teaching assistants in the College of Arts and Sciences. Touting signs, drums, and chants, they formed a picket line at the intersection of Kenmore and Sheridan, right in front of the Mundelein Center.
Now practice what you preach. I said we work, we teach.
Chanting "Practice what you preach," the protesters criticized what they saw as Loyola failing to live up to their Jesuit values.
Loyola still fundamentally doesn't recognize the graduate students as workers, and in general, the Jesuit mission supports and calls to support unions.
In fact, during a demonstration last week in which 7 grad student workers were arrested for protesting in front of Lewis Towers, clergy from Rogers Park and Edgewater delivered a letter to Loyola calling on them to live up to their Jesuit values.
A lot of the workers here told us that at this hectic time during the semester, this is the perfect time for them to make one big action for calling for the university to finally recognize them as a union and bargain a contract with them.
And so we're looking for a living wage so that we don't have to be taking second, third, fourth, sometimes fifth jobs like during the summer when we're not funded or at other times to make ends meet.
Aside from working outside jobs, I've had to let my phone get canceled because I just kept missing the bill. I literally it wasn't a priority. I had to get food, rent, etc.
The graduate workers couldn't say if there'll be bigger action like a strike, but they said they hope the numbers showed today convinces the university to finally come to the bargaining table. Michael McDevitt, Loyola News, Chicago.
The grad school dean told the Loyola Phoenix that raising the wages of graduate student workers would make tuition go up.
Tomorrow is the last day of classes and finals begin next week. And believe me, students are already feeling the pressure. It's not unusual that the libraries are packed this time of year. The 6th floor of Corboy Law Center is silent, except for the hum of keyboards typing. Students wear headphones and bury their noses in books. In the middle of all the cramming, some students shared their tips for success.
I make sure to do a lot of self-care. So either listening to music, taking a few minutes to kind of take a break from studying, making sure that I'm as organized as I can be so that I'm not overly stressed is what really helps me.
I usually just make a list of what my day is looking like and when I can fit something in.
I don't know, I'm just trying to do one thing at a time, whatever is due first, and hope for the best at this point.
And Loyola does its part too, holding events to help students de-stress before their big tests. Reporter Sajida Al-Khazaleh tells us about one of these events.
It's not every day you see college students painting small pots. But on Tuesday afternoon, this was all part of a de-stress event hosted by students of Loyola's Quinlan School of Business. The students are called Quinlan Ambassadors, and on this day, they hope to relax students before final exams.
Everyone can chill in the king, and it's really easy. You can stop by and paint a little pot, or you can do your own body scrub or other things like that just keep you away from the stress of school. It's a little fun, quick activity.
Drinking smoothies, winning prizes, and painting are just some of the simple things that are helping students de-stress before finals next week. And some students are feeling the results already.
This makes us appreciate the little things. There's so many hard decisions happening, so if I can just sit down and make a decision about what color I'm going to use, it's just very calming,
But some students are here for one reason.
I came here for the dogs mostly.
That's right. Most came to see 9-year-old therapy dog, Winston. His owner is a Loyola professor.
Winston loves students. He's a marketing major also. And he wants to go into entertainment, marketing for entertainers.
For 2 hours, students took advantage of these services, proving that although they may not have a choice in taking finals, they do have a choice in how they handle their stress. Sajida Al-Khazaleh, Loyola News Chicago.
Finals begin this Monday and end Friday, May 4th. Wednesday, May 1st, will be a study day, and no finals will be held that day.
Loyola is ending a program that teaches English to students who don't speak it fluently. There are 68 Loyola students enrolled in the English Language Learning Program, or the ELLP. The university has not yet announced a plan for the conditional students who need the program to learn English before they start on a degree. The Loyola Phoenix reports the students and faculty of the English Language Learning Program may need to find different programs or make other arrangements. And Loyola does its part too. Loyola students-run pizza shop Felice's is closing. The shop, located near Loyola's Lakeshore campus, will have its final day on May 5th. As the only student-run pizzeria in the nation, the shop was busy in its earlier days. It opened in 2012 by students wanting to bring a piece of Loyola's Rome campus back to Chicago. After 7 years in business, the shop is closing due to debt and competition with other local restaurants. Felice's will offer free pizza slices to thank their customers for their support on May 4th.
I don't know about you, but I'll miss Felice's.
Me too.
Coming up, Loyola's connection to a small country that could be undergoing big changes.
And later, we'll tell you how your morning cup of joe can give back to the community.
The mission of Aaron's Farm is to rescue animals and educate through their stories. Now, we want to reach as many kids as we can through the animal stories, through their friendships, to show that they're like us. Back to when I was a kid, I was obsessed with animals and would have died to be taken to a show like this.
Take a look at him. First of all, you'll notice that he's got sharp claws because he's climbing up on me and they're so sharp.
I think this farm is different from other educational farms or places around because we're not like a petting zoo. It's a hands-on science class, which you're not getting in a petting zoo type environment.
My dream was to work with children and animals, and I was able to make that dream come true. And I want that for all these kids. I want their dreams to come true too.
Aaron's Farm. Rescue, sanctuary, advocacy. To find out more about Aaron's Farm and how to schedule a visit, go to aaronsfarm.net or connect on Facebook at Aaron's Farm 1.
Last week, we told you about Helix, a coffee shop on the north side that will give jobs to Chicago high school students. This week, we introduce you to a south side coffee shop giving back to its community in the Englewood neighborhood. Finding a communal space in this area can be a challenge, but reporter Colleen Kennedy introduces us to a coffee shop whose mission is to change that narrative.
Kusanya is a nonprofit organization providing a safe space for its surrounding community. Located in Englewood, the shop sells coffee, food, and other locally made products such as mugs and vegan soap. Owner Phil Subka was inspired to open Kusanya by a conversation he had with his Englewood neighbors.
At that time, there wasn't like one sit-down restaurant for Englewood or West Englewood, so that's 65,000 people without like a place to meet.
Last year, Kusanya hosted over 100 local events such as free yoga and open mic storytelling. The cafe also supports local artists by featuring their work on the walls. Other features include a take a book, leave a book bookshelf, and a printer that's free for anyone to use. Subka acknowledges that every component of the shop has come directly from the community itself.
You can't control everything and say, oh, well, we want to empower you, but you really don't have any say. So if we want people to take ownership of the space, we want people to like feel like it's theirs, then we have to like give that power.
The coffee shop emphasizes the importance of community and looking out for one another. Donations go towards several causes such as buying a neighbor's drink, upcoming events, and funding for the cafe. Jamal Cole is an Inglewood resident who feels at home at Kusanya. He has been coming to the shop since it opened in 2013.
This is the living room of Inglewood, so if you're a poet, if you're an artist, if you want to just bring people together, this is the spot.
Kusanya's name comes from the Swahili word meaning to come together, and that is directly reflected in the shop's mission.
The mission of Kusanya Cafe is to be a place of empowerment and encouragement to Inglewood residents.
Supka hopes Kusanya will continue to be known for offering a purpose beyond the lattes for years to come. Colleen Kennedy, Loyola News Chicago.
The next community event at Kusanya is free yoga this Saturday.
Here's the latest on a case we've been following this spring about Empire actor Jussie Smollett. Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Howard, and the rest of the Empire cast has written a letter to Fox Entertainment's CEO calling for Smollett to be brought back to the show. The letter was written after the two brothers who were accused of allegedly helping stage an attack against Smollett announced they are suing Smollett's lawyers. Their lawsuit claims Smollett orchestrated the attack against himself and that his lawyers have repeatedly lied about what happened. There's no word on whether the Fox network is considering bringing Smollett back to Empire. Uber has announced new safety features for the rideshare app after a South Carolina student died earlier this month. Samantha Josephson got into the wrong car thinking it was her Uber. Queenie Ama hit the streets to find out what Loyola students are doing to keep safe while using rideshare apps.
For some college students, Uber is a quick and easy way to get around the city. We talked to some students to see if they are taking extra precautions before getting into one.
I'm always super aware of what the make and model of the car is. So I'm always looking for that.
If the Uber comes, I check on my phone. If it's here, I check the license plate and I just get in.
I always check the app absolutely 100%. I check the license plate. I make sure that I call them before so I know that I'm waiting outside for you.
I will think twice before getting into an Uber.
I like seeing the reviews on the Uber app as well to see if I'm with a good person or not.
New features are being currently tested in South Carolina where the incident happened earlier this month. Later, it will become available to everyone nationwide. Queenie Ama, Loyola News Chicago.
Some of the new safety features include notifications to remind riders to check the driver's license plate, name, and picture. Some of our own staff members say they have been receiving more safety notifications while waiting for their rides.
Before we finish up our newscast today, I have a very exciting announcement. I'm going on a trip to tell a story before it's too late. Take a look. This summer, Loyola students and faculty are traveling to the South Pacific. I am lucky enough to be one of those students
you guys come in now.
handselected by John Goheen.
I'm taking a group of Loyola current and past students to the South Pacific island of Tuvalu, where we're going to work with Tuvalu youth in teaching them how to make a documentary.
Tuvalu is a country in the middle of the Pacific Islands that is home to about 11,000 citizens. They have their own culture and speak their own language. However, climate change threatens their future. It is very possible that in just a couple generations, Tuvalu will no longer exist.
So Tuvalu is sort of the poster child for global warming, and it's a place that they predict that possibly won't exist in 10 or 20 years because it'll become uninhabitable due to rising sea and climate change. And even though it's in a tropical location, they recently went through a 5-year drought where it didn't rain. They didn't have water. And without water, you can't survive.
I will be working with Goheen alongside 2 grad students, both of whom are very excited for this project.
I am definitely most excited to just go and experience the culture and see this country that so few people get to see and that really, really need us to care about.
I'm really passionate about the environment and climate change, so it's just really exciting to be able to go over, teach filmmaking, which I'm also very passionate about, to Tuvalu youth, and then share their story about how climate change is impacting them and how the place where they have grown up and live and call their home will most likely not exist in about 50 years.
The documentary, when finished, will hopefully have global distribution, and we hope to do the people of Tuvalu justice.
From all of us, thank you so much for tuning into Loyola News Chicago this semester.
We will leave for the trip in roughly 1 month, and we will stay for 2 weeks. As soon as finals are over, I need to start packing my sunscreen.
From all of us, thank you so much for tuning into Loyola News Chicago this semester.
We appreciate your support and hope you have a great summer. We leave you now with a video of the nice weather here in Chicago, shot by our own Sajida Al-Khazaleh, who gives us a bird's eye view from a drone camera.
Bye.